Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something foundational, emotional well-being.
Yeah, it touches everything.
We've sifted through quite a bit of material from the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, and also the CDC.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, right?
And our aim isn't just to tell you what they say, but to pull out the key insights and maybe more importantly, the really practical steps you can actually use, like starting now.
Absolutely. And it's so important because, well, the CDC has a definition for positive emotional well-being.
Oh yeah, what's the gist?
They say it's when people manage emotions well and sense meaning, purpose, and supportive relationships,
Okay.
which can lower sickness, injury risk. So this isn't just about, feeling happier.
Right, it is more than that.
It can genuinely lead to a stronger sense of purpose, deeper connections, even better physical health outcomes.
That link is powerful. So our mission here, for
Yeah.
you listening, is to basically give you a shortcut, help you get well-informed on this, maybe point out a few surprising things, and offer strategies you can, well, try out straight away.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's begin by unpacking the emotions themselves. I think there's this idea that well-being means you're always happy.
That's a common misconception, definitely. Experiencing difficult emotions, stress, sadness, frustration, that's completely normal. It's part of being human.
So it's not about avoiding them.
No, not at all. The real key and where the growth happens is learning how to navigate those feelings, how to cope in healthy ways.
Okay, how do we start doing that?
Well, the CDC gives us some really solid strategies, practical stuff. The first big one is self-awareness and acceptance.
Right. What does that look like in practice?
It's more than just saying, I feel bad. It's about genuinely checking in with yourself.
Like pausing for a moment.
Exactly. Pausing to identify what you're feeling specifically. And then this is crucial, allowing yourself to feel it without judgment.
Without beating yourself up for feeling that way.
Precisely. Giving yourself permission to just be with whatever is there.
Okay, so you acknowledge the feeling. Let's say it's stress or disappointment. What's next? Do you immediately try to fix it?
Not necessarily. Often the next step is simply being kind to yourself. Self-acceptance includes self-care.
Mm-hmm.
That could be something really simple, like taking 10 minutes to relax, reading a chapter of a book, or just getting outside for some fresh air.
So things.
Small things. And also consciously appreciating the positive parts of your life, however minor they seem. Then we move into something called cognitive restructuring.
It's less technical.
Yeah, maybe a bit. But basically, it's about looking at your thought patterns. It's like giving your mind a healthy makeover.
A mind makeover. I like that. How does that work?
It means consciously noticing negative or overly critical thoughts.
Like I always mess things up.
Exactly like that. Noticing it and then actively replacing it with something more positive, or at least more realistic and balanced.
So for someone stuck in that negative loop, what's a first step? Could you give an example?
Sure, so you catch that thought, I'm terrible at this, I'll never get it right. That's step one, awareness.
Okay.
Then you challenge it. You might consciously tell yourself, okay, this is challenging, but I'm learning. Or maybe, what's one small thing I can do right now?
Shifting the focus.
Right, keeping the stress in perspective and intentionally guiding your focus towards something constructive or positive.
That makes it feel more manageable. Okay, what about when you just feel full of energy, like stress or anxiety or even just restlessness?
That's where healthy expression and action comes in. It's really important to channel that energy productively.
Okay.
Physical activity is a big one. Exercise, dancing, going for a walk, playing a sport. Even just laughing can release tension.
Sure.
But it can also be creative things like art or, interestingly enough, even cleaning your home.
Cleaning? Really? How does that work?
Well, for some people, the physical act of cleaning provides a sense of control when things feel chaotic.
Okay. Tangible results.
Exactly. The rhythm can be almost meditative, and a tidy space can promote a feeling of calm. It's about moving that energy outwards constructively.
Interesting. And you mentioned navigating. This isn't something we have to do alone.
Absolutely not. Seeking support in processing emotions is fundamental. Don't hesitate to ask for support from people you trust, friends, family.
Yeah.
Talking things through can make a huge difference. And, if the stress or sadness feels like it's becoming overwhelming, if it's really impacting your daily life,
You know what?
then making an appointment with a counselor or therapist is a really strong, proactive step to take. There's no weakness in seeking help.
Good point.
I
And you mentioned journaling earlier.
Yes. Keeping a journal can be incredibly helpful for processing. Writing things down helps you express feelings, understand them better, sometimes even see solutions you hadn't thought of.
Kind of like untangling things on paper.
Precisely. It helps you cope and gain new insights.
It feels like there are a lot of active strategies. What about just chilling out?
Definitely important. That falls under relaxation and enjoyment. Regularly practicing things like deep breathing, maybe some simple yoga stretches, or meditation can really calm the nervous system.
Taking that deliberate pause.
Yes. And also, just making time for hobbies or activities you genuinely enjoy. Things that take your mind off the stress and just feel good. That's vital too.
It's interesting, so much of this seems focused internally on our thoughts and feelings. But what about, the external stuff? Life's challenges, our relationships.
Great question. They're huge factors. Life's challenges, while stressful, are also where a lot of personal growth can happen.
How so?
Well, the CDC points out that instead of just feeling stuck by a problem, we can train ourselves to focus on potential solutions.
Shifting perspective again.
Exactly. Trying to look at the issue from different angles can often reveal new possibilities. And, importantly, learning from mistakes.
Not just dwelling on them.
Right. Analyzing what went wrong, what you could do differently, and using that insight moving forward. It turns setbacks into learning opportunities.
Okay, so challenges can be reframed. What about relationships? How crucial are they for emotional health?
Oh, fundamentally crucial. Healthy relationships provide that sense of belonging, connection, and support.
The buffer against stress.
Precisely. They're essential for coping. And the quality of communication within those relationships really matters.
How can we improve that?
It often starts with sharing emotions honestly but respectfully. Using I statements is a classic technique for a reason.
So saying, I feel hurt when, instead of you always.
Exactly. It's less accusatory. Also, trying to maintain a calm tone, really listening, actively listening, without interrupting and showing empathy. Trying to understand where the other person is coming from.
Even if you disagree.
Even if you disagree, showing you care about their feelings.
Those are great communication tips. For someone feeling a bit isolated, what are some concrete ways to build or strengthen connections?
Well, first, don't be afraid to reach out. Ask for support when you need it. Make dedicated time for loved ones.
Quality time.
Yes. Maybe join a social group, a club, something centered around an interest. Or participate in local events, volunteering.
Yeah.
These are all ways to meet people and build that network.
Makes sense. You also mentioned mindfulness earlier. It's a word we hear a lot. What does it really mean in this context?
Good question. It can feel like a buzzword. But at its core, mindfulness is about awareness.
Awareness of what?
Of the present moment. It's about living right now, acknowledging what's happening inside you, your thoughts, feelings, physical sensations, and around you in your environment.
Okay.
And doing so without judgment, just observing.
Have you practiced that?
You could start by setting aside a little time each day, finding a quiet spot. Then just be present. Focus on your breath. Maybe notice sensations in your body or sounds around you.
And thoughts will come up.
Oh, absolutely. Thoughts and feelings will arise. The practice is just to observe them without getting swept away or labeling them good or bad.
What if your mind wanders off completely? Which, let's be honest, it probably will.
Totally normal. When you notice your mind has wandered, just gently bring it back. No frustration. Try not to get frustrated. Acknowledge the distracting thought. Maybe picture it like a cloud floating by, and then gently return your focus to your breath or your senses. Be kind to yourself in the process.
Patience is key then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the NIH actually has some great resources on meditation and mindfulness-based stress reduction if you want to explore structured practices.
Okay. We've covered a lot: thoughts, actions, relationships, mindfulness. But you hinted at something else, almost like a secret weapon. Gratitude.
Huh. Maybe not secret, but definitely powerful. Gratitude is a surprisingly effective tool for reducing stress and boosting well-being.
How does focusing on the good help so much?
It actively shifts your focus away from stressors and towards the positive aspects of your life, which can change your whole outlook. And there are simple ways to cultivate it.
Like what?
You could start a gratitude journal, maybe just once a week, spend 10-15 minutes writing down specific things you're thankful for: people, places, good memories, anything.
Getting specific helps.
Yes. Or send a quick text or make a call to someone just to say thank you for something specific they did.
That personal touch.
It's meaningful. You could even do a small favor for someone you appreciate. Or consider volunteering. Giving back often fosters a deep sense of gratitude.
Those are really concrete actions. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier a link between emotional and physical health. Let's circle back to that.
Yes, we absolutely have to talk about that. The connection is incredibly strong. They really influence each other profoundly.
So what are the key physical health pillars, based on what the CDC says, that directly impact our emotional state?
Okay, four main ones come up consistently. First, healthy eating.
Makes sense. Fueling the brain.
Exactly. Focusing on fruits, vegetables, lean protein, whole grains, low-fat dairy, and limiting, the unhealthy fats, too much salt, added sugars. What you eat really affects your mood and energy.
Okay. Eating well. What's next?
Second, sufficient sleep. This one's huge. Adults generally need 7 or more hours per night.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But a key tip from the research is consistency. Trying to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even weekends, really helps regulate your body clock.
That rhythm is important.
Very. And it's worth noting, the NIH has a ton of great info on sleep, its importance, and common issues like insomnia or sleep apnea.
Good to know. So, eating, sleeping.
Mhm.
What's number 3?
Physical activity. We touched on it for stress release, but it's foundational for overall well-being, too.
Does it have to be intense workouts?
Not at all. Even small amounts help. The recommendation is aiming for about 2.5 hours a week, but you can start small, build up gradually. Even 20-30 minutes a day makes a difference.
Manageable chunks.
Right. The mood boost can be pretty immediate. And finally, number 4, limiting substances.
Okay, what does that cover?
Primarily limiting alcohol use and avoiding smoking, vaping, any tobacco products. Cutting back or quitting these can significantly improve both mental and physical health.
What are the guidelines for alcohol?
Generally, it's recommended 1 drink or less per day for women and 2 or less for men. And for smoking, the important message is that there are proven methods to help people quit successfully. Resources are available.
That connection between physical and emotional health is undeniable then.
Completely intertwined.
Wow. This deep dive really shows that boosting emotional well-being isn't just one thing. It's multifaceted, isn't it?
It really is.
And the good news seems to be that there are so many different tools and strategies, things that are actually accessible.
That's exactly right. And maybe the most powerful takeaway is that you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Small steps.
Think about it. Consider how just one small, consistent change in any of these areas could ripple outwards. Maybe it's just taking a moment to acknowledge a feeling without judgment, or adding a 20-minute walk to your day, or perhaps writing down one thing you're grateful for before bed. How could that one small investment affect your overall well-being over time? So the question for you listening is this: what small step will you choose to take today to invest in your own emotional health?